Hello, welcome to biology, honors biology lecture video number 6 for genetics. Okay, so we got a big glare right in the middle, so I'm going to slide it up when I start talking about this section. So these types of traits, these genetic crosses are called sex-linked traits. Well, what does that mean? Well, the last chromosomes that an organism has are called the sex chromosomes. Two X's is a female. An X and a Y is a male. Those genes, those chromosomes, X and Y's, are different. The X is much larger than the Y, much larger. So the X chromosome carries information on it that the Y chromosome can't carry. It's just too small of a chromosome. It doesn't have that information on it. So these sometimes they're called X-linked or they're called sex-linked traits. So what does that mean? That means they are genes or alleles that are attached to the X chromosome, not the Y chromosome. These are characteristics that if you see them, they commonly occur in boys or males instead of females. A good example of one is color blindness. Color blindness is a sex-linked trait. In all my 20 plus years of teaching, I've only had maybe one or two females that were colorblind. I've had every year, I have multiple males in every class that are colorblind. Okay. Boys, more often than not, get these traits. Why do boys or males get them more often than females? It's because guys only have one X. When you only have one X, you only need one of the lowercase a to give you the disease in this case. If you get a capital letter with your X, you're healthy automatically as a boy, as a male. If you're a male and you get a lowercase a, just one lowercase a, you are diseased. Okay. So the key is the A's are attached to X's. Okay. So a healthy A is capital, an unhealthy A is lowercase. So these are diseases we're going to be talking about in these types of genetics crosses. I'm going to slide this up and show you and compare males versus females. Okay, so here we go. Let's talk about males versus females. All right. So the males, there's only two options for a man in this case. And by the way, for these genetics problems, you have to put the X's and Y's in your Punnett squares. Have to do it. If you do not do it, then these problems they won't work out. You won't be able to figure out whether their child is a boy or a girl and has the disease or doesn't have the disease. You have to use X's and Y's to know sex and to know whether they're healthy or unhealthy. So in these cases, you're looking for a couple phenotypes. Healthy or diseased, that's the first phenotype. And then the second phenotype, male or female. So there's two characteristics, male or female, and diseased or not diseased. Okay, so X's and Y's need to be used. Females and males, let's compare the two. A healthy male, X capital A, Y, healthy. A healthy female, X capital A, X capital A. Homozygous, healthy female. Females, though, females can be healthy another way too. Let's go to the bottom one. So that's a healthy female. That's a healthy female. That's a capital A and a lowercase a. That lowercase a is diseased, but guess what? Her capital A, her uppercase A, covers up that diseased A. So this would be a healthy female. But she has a special name. She's called a carrier. A carrier means that she has a lowercase a that she can pass on to her children, but she does not have the disease. Okay? So carriers do not have the characteristic. They do not have the disease. They don't have it. They have a dominant gene that covers up the disease. Okay? But what do? Can they give the disease to their offspring? Yes. So they carry the disease gene. They do not show it or display it or express it. That's a term you might see. They don't express the disease because their capital A protects them and keeps them healthy. Okay, so carriers can pass on the disease, but they don't have the disease. So let's look at boys. Boys, capital A, healthy, lowercase a, diseased, they can't be carriers. The reason they can't be carriers is they don't have two X's. They can't carry a healthy gene to cover up, they can't have a healthy gene to cover up their unhealthy, diseased lowercase gene. Okay? So in a sex-linked trait, males, boys, cannot be carriers on a sex-linked trait. Only females can be carriers. Okay? So healthy, two ways for females to be healthy, one way for a male to be healthy, one way for a male to be diseased. Diseased females can only be X lowercase a, X lowercase a. Okay? So let's do some problems, show you how to do these ones. Okay? Here we go. Now, when you're doing these genetic problems, you have to put X's and Y's when you're making them. You have to have the X with the letter above it. You have to do that. You got to do that. Okay, you got to have a capital X or a capital Y, and the X's have to have a letter connected to them. So let me show you how these problems work. Color blindness is sex-linked. I have to tell you sex-linked. If I do not tell you sex-linked, then do not use X's and Y's. Okay, the reason I'm making a point of saying this is this is our last genetics cross. And for some reason, when this is our last genetics cross and you get in the habit of using X's and Y's, many students try to continue using X's and Y's on the other problems. And that is not correct. The other problems were not sex or X-linked. It has to say in the problem, it is sex-linked. And once it says sex-linked, you have to use X's and Y's in your genotypes. Okay, I told you here, down here, I tell you it's sex-linked. A female is a carrier. All right, now look over here. Big A is normal vision. Lowercase a is colorblind. That's the disease in this case. I gave you the letters to use, but they have to be connected to X's when you make your Punnett squares. Okay, so the female is a carrier. Carrier females look like this. All right, that's a carrier female. Capital A, lowercase a. Okay, then I say she's married to a man, she mates with a man who has normal vision. That means he has good vision. That's the only way a male can be healthy and have good vision. Okay, you split them apart. And you got to use the X's and Y's. You have to use them. You split them apart. You bring the side over, the top down. All right, filled it in. Now, first question. What is the percentage of the children should be males? Oh, look, how many of them should be boys? 2 of them have X's and Y's, and 2 of them have XX. So 2 out of 4 are male. Always 1/2 are going to be male, or percentages in this case, 50%. What percentage of their children should be colorblind? And by the way, percentages or probabilities, fractions, same thing. It doesn't matter. What percentage of their children should be colorblind? So that's a healthy female. That's a healthy female. Her healthy A covers up her lowercase a. That's a healthy male. That is a colorblind. That is a colorblind male. So out of 4, 1 of them is colorblind. 1/4 are colorblind. How many of their children should be carriers? If you look at them all, the only carrier is right here. So 1 out of 4, or 25%, is the answer. And this one could have been 25%. That's 1/4 also. Either way. Okay, it could be a percentage, it could be a fraction. All right. If I were you, I would pause the video. I would try the second one and see if you can get it without my help. All right, try the second one. I'm going to show how to do it in a second. Okay, Now, let's do this problem, all right? Hemophilia, this is a blood disorder, okay? It's a sex-linked and recessive disease. Key word, sex-linked. So guess what you got to use? X's and Y's. Okay, got to use X's and Y's. A healthy man, that's the only genotype a healthy man could be. Has to be that. He mates with a female that has the disease. She gets 2 lowercase a's attached to her X's. All right? You split them up. All right? Split them up, bring them together. All right, you bring them together. All right, now, first question. All right, what is the percentage they will have a carrier male? That's a trick question. Can boys, can they be carriers of sex-linked traits? No. Answer is 0. Only females can be carriers of these characteristics. What is the probability they will have a healthy child? All right, well, how many of them are healthy? Healthy? Unhealthy, healthy, unhealthy. 2 out of 4 are healthy, so that is 1/2 or 50% are healthy. All right, now go give it a try. Work on your genetics problems. You need scratch paper, show parents, show Punnett squares. Go for it.